glow pulsed again, stronger. This time every metal object slid nearly half an inch closer to the center. Greg whispered, "That's accelerating." I nodded slowly, yeah. The humming sound began again, very faint, almost like distant electricity. Greg looked toward the door. "You're thinking what I'm thinking, probably. We should call this indefinitely." But neither of us moved, because something about the pattern of the objects on the floor was starting to become clear. They weren't random, they were forming lines, precise lines, radiating toward the man's chest. Greg suddenly stepped closer again, squinting. "Wait, what? Those aren't just lines." I leaned in, he was right. They were symbols, geometric shapes slowly forming from the moving objects. Triangles, circles, intersecting patterns. Greg whispered, "This guy wasn't just building a machine." Then what? The blue disc pulsed again, brighter than before, and for the first time since we entered the room, the gray man's head tilted slightly. Greg stumbled backward. "Did you see that?" I had in my stomach drop, both of us shocked by what just occurred. Something moved the gray man's head. The glow intensified. The humming grew louder. The objects on the floor began sliding faster now. Greg grabbed my arm. "We need to leave." I didn't argue. We both started backing toward the door. But before we reached it, the man's mouth opened and a voice came out. Not his voice, something else. Something mechanical, something that sounded like it was speaking through a broken radio. Phase incomplete. Greg froze. Did that thing just talk? The voice crackled again. Observer detected. My heart began pounding. Observer, Greg whispered, "That means us." The blue light surged. The objects on the floor snapped inward another inch. And the voice spoke again. Calibration required. Greg slowly reached for his radio. What did this guy build? The gray man's head turned slightly toward us, and the glowing disc in his chest began spinning. Human presence necessary. Greg looked at me, then at the door, then back at the gray man, and one question hung in the air between us. Was the gray man the first subject, or just the prototype? And if the machine needed a human to finish whatever it had started,